morning, everybody. Good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world today. My name is Barbara Legg. I am the property sister of Lisa Parento, who actually happens to be on vacation. I know, right? So I told her, she said, I don't want to cancel this. And I said, no, don't cancel this. We got this. So we are so excited to have Mr. Russel Laggan with us. I'm so super excited about this. Russ is, I'm going to pull up your little bio thingy. So,
holy smokes. Yeah, watch out for that.
I can say so much about you, but I want to make sure that it's all correct.
All lies in fabrication.
Well, you are now the regional director of growth for the western part of the United States, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I've gotten taller by 1 inch in the last 3 months.
I love it. And so,
wait a minute. That's different growth.
To be on the West Coast, so this is perfect. I love it. For those of you who don't know, I'm in San Diego, and Lisa is actually in beautiful Cape Cod. Not today because she's on vacation, but anyway, Russ is going to give us all kinds of great tips and techniques and tools on how to attract business and stop chasing after it. Right? Did I say that right?
Yeah, sure. That sounds interesting to me. That sounds like a fun one. Let's rip on that.
Right? I know. Who's up for that? Me. I'm so sick and tired of chasing after everybody. Let them come to us. And so you're going to teach us what that magic formula is to get started.
Yeah, that's cool. So, it's kind of funny, Barbara, like you and I go back a ways now. I mean, I met you in 2018. It's like that's 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago already.
I was a brand new baby agent with EXP. Yeah. And
so I went on a little distraction tour. Hey, listen, I went and built something amazing. It's not like I went and failed. I went out and built something amazing, and then I got roped back to EXP. And when I'm looking at what the market is doing and where the world is going, I'm looking at it going, okay, I look at this like a business person, guys. So one of my previous itinerations, I ran the lower half of the country for another company called Carrington. I had 28 offices with, 1,000+ agents and just under $1 billion in sales. So it's not like, it's not like we don't know what big business is. Mm-hmm. And so when I look at a business, I start talking to people about what business is and where it is and so forth. My perspective is a little different because I've looked at P&Ls and income statements. I'm not great at that stuff, but I understand it. So when I talk to somebody and I say, well, how's your company doing? They're like, oh, the company's great. That's BS. So let's get what are you really doing? So when you start looking at what the actual companies are really doing out there, and look at some of these companies, and I'm not going to name names, but when you look at them and you start looking at the business structure behind them, you say, man, these people are amazing. And some of the things they've done are amazing. But do you realize that they built all of that and it cost them $2 billion loss to build that? So you're going, wait a minute, they just lost $1 billion. They lost $500 million. We're growing. It's amazing. Well, yeah, you're number one. You are the highest, most losingest real estate brokerage ever in history. You lost more money than anybody else. So I look at a company like that and they say, hey, Russ, we'd like to get you to talk about leadership. And I'm like, no, hell no. Because if you say, Russ, I want you to get on the boat, my first question is, what's the name of the boat? And if it's Titanic, no, right? No. Like, heck no, there's a lot of Titanics out there right now. And I'm like, what's the name of your boat? And they're like, we're the SS Minnow. Yeah, no on that one too. I know how that ended. Like, I can make a ton of stuff out of coconuts, but I don't want to wear coconut underwear and coconut shoes and coconut hats and coconut cell phone, although that might be about as tech savvy as I am. So when I came back here, it was a matter of saying, okay, what are the business fundamentals and am I going to the right place? And can I be there for 10 years and not have to worry about this thing sinking, right? And so for you guys, that you may not have looked at that from a business guy standpoint, I looked at it and said, heck yeah, this is a darn good bet. And as this market shifts, you want to be on a strong ship that can help take you to the next level, right? I will also tell you, Barbara, if you can't be successful in this system, it's you. Right.
So let me just kind of point out. So you said this system, not this market, this system.
This system, right? So successful people are successful regardless of what the market's doing. As a matter of fact, when you look at there were more millionaires being made in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12 than in any other time in history. And you're like, but the whole world was getting smoked. Right. Yeah, there are really smart people going, holy crap, the world's getting smoked. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to to stand out, right? So a lot of the things we're going to talk about here today are going off of that principle, which is like, okay, so is EXP the best company in the world?
Yes.
Maybe.
I guess it depends on who you talk to.
Yes for you, right?
Yes.
Yes for me. Yes for these guys. So what a lot of times happens when a market shifts like this and they've been chasing business and they get frustrated and aggravated, then you add a market shift to it. We have this kind of like, oh crap, now what do I do? And a lot of people will start thinking, well, maybe if I just go somewhere else, I could be successful. I will tell you that going somewhere else to be the same person will not help you be successful because it's you. Like, here's the common denominator, Barbara. I bring me with me everywhere I go.
Yep.
I can be successful at any company. However, there are certain advantages to being on this boat. We get a little bit of a tailwind. And by the way, if we hit an iceberg, we got a couple pad kits, which is called money in the bank. Okay. So even if we do have a bump, a hiccup here and there, we're in a position, we've got lifeboats, we've got patch kits, we've got the crews, we've got the people in place. That's what having $138 million in the bank does for you when stuff goes sideways. If you don't have the money to patch the boat and the people to patch the boat and the right people to get it going in the right direction or to avoid the icebergs altogether, you're going to have a really, really hard time. So is EXP a great fit for me? Yes. Is it a great fit for you? Yes. And for some of you guys, you need to figure out how it's a great fit for you. So, and realistically, Barbara, most people in the company are more focusing on doing real estate sales. So we as a leadership team have been talking about this. We're like, hey guys, we should talk about selling houses more. They're like, huh. Yeah, I think you're right. Okay. So guys, you guys are in the business to sell houses. So how many of you like chasing business? Put your hands up. Anybody? No? Yeah. Nobody ever puts their hands up, right? Are there things you can do to chase business? Are there things we can do to chase business that I will do so I don't starve to death? Yes. But do I love my life? No. Listen, I work for MCI Long Distance. Remember MCI Long Distance, Barbara?
No.
MCI long distance. So AT&T had long distance, MCI had long distance, Sprint had long distance.
Yes. Okay.
Before
Sprint distance carrier. Yes.
Sprint used to be a long distance carrier before they're a cell phone company, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I worked as a telemarketer for them. I made 300 calls a night in 4 hours for like 2 years, right? I was great at it. By the way, it sucked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So are there things I can be great at, but I don't enjoy? Yeah. Right. So the key I want to talk about today, Barbara, is not only selling more houses, but being intentional on building a lifestyle and a business around that. So you start going, all right, well, shoot, I got to do a little bit of work today. Yay. I like doing that. Right. So like later today, part of my job, I have to go to a party from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock in, south of Detroit, right? South Detroit, like, like the song, right? But I wasn't born and raised there because actually it's technically a river. But south of Detroit, one of the local influencers is having a party to celebrate her team and do a team appreciation. She's got like 300 people on her team locally. So they asked me to come down there and shake hands and kiss babies and drink a beer. Like,
Yes.
I could totally do that, right? Like, oh, the horror, I got to go work. Oh, that's a beautiful location. So you've got to start finding those things where work doesn't feel like work. You're kind of like, I want to do that. I want to show up for that. I want to do that. Okay. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you a question. If we're going to get business to come to us, Barbara, what is one thing that I know for a fact that happens to me all the time in the real estate business? When I say to somebody, I'm a real estate agent, what is the next thing out of their mouth?
Oh, how's the market?
Really?
I mean, always. Oh, you're in real estate. How's the market?
Wait, that happens to you too?
Oh, every day.
Does anybody else have that happen to them? Yeah, hands up. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, okay. Everybody get your feet up off the floor. Ready? Uncle Russ is going to smash some toes.
Yay.
Here we go. Ready? Why do we suck at answering that question? Like, ow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, there's a test on Friday, and the test is worth $10,000. And if you answer the test question correctly, you're going to get a $10,000 check. And the question is, how's the market?
Okay. Yeah.
I think I'm going to study for that test, Barbara. So I'm going to get really, really great at answering that question. So here's the fun part. And I do this live in events all the time. And I've been doing this for a while, and I get the same results every time. When I pin somebody down, I say, okay, so here's a question. Ready? We're going to teach you how to answer this question. I ask somebody, how's the market? Barbara, most of the time they stumble, trip, and fall.
Sure. Yep.
Once in a blue moon, very, very rarely, once in a blue moon, I will get somebody that'll actually spit out something that's like, that was actually pretty good, right? So here's the problem. As we're going out and about and around in our world, Barbara, we get these people asking this question. You're like, hey, how you doing? What are you doing? What do you do for business? I'm a real estate agent. And they go, how's the market? So guys, if you learn nothing else from me today, here's the script that you need to use, okay? Script is just simply words that you will use that work for you, okay? So here's the what to say part, okay? Ready? Here's my response. You know what? That's a great question. People ask me that all the time, Barbara. As a matter of fact, I do a real estate market update every single month that tells people exactly what's going on in the market. Do you want me to send that to you?
Yes.
And they say, yes, every single time. Think of it like this. You got a fat kid comes up to the window and he's like, I want a hamburger, mister. And I'm like, here's a hamburger. And what do they say? Thank you. No, right? Like if the dude's asking for a hamburger and you go, I got a hamburger, you want this? They're going to say yes every time, right? Mm-hmm. So as we're doing this sales process, it's hilarious to me because people are like, Russ, sales is so hard. I don't want to be a salesman. I'm not a salesman. It's like somebody asked me for something that I have. And I'm like, yeah, I can give that to you. Here you go. And what do they say? Yep. Mm-hmm. So think about it like this. Like you throw your hook in the water, the fish throws its hook in its mouth and it goes and snags it. And like, please reel me in. Well, okay. Right? It's just like reel the thing. These fish are jumping into your boat. So don't throw them back out into the water. So you've got to have that kind of conversion thing. So you got to understand that happens consistently and over a short period of time, you can get really smooth at answering that question. Right. And then I'm going to follow up with after they give me their info. Great. Perfect. Let me plug in your info, Barbara. I promised myself I'd be better at that. I don't know about your contacts, but my contacts are an absolute hot mess. Sorry, I got Michael Valdez trying to call me. Apparently I'm popular today. All right. So I'm going to plug in my info on my contacts. I'm horrible at doing this. So let me make sure I get everything in here correctly. Your name? And you just, sometimes they'll be like, oh, let me send you my contact thing. Even better, right?
Right.
Or, by the way, I'm going to send you my contact card because I have my name in here, RUSS, right? Oh, that's Tuss. That's not Russ. RUSS, right? And Russel Laggan. And then I can just go share contact, right? So I'm going to share you my contact and you send me your info back. And then I'll get that real estate market update to you.
And you do that once a month, you said.
So now, as part of my normal course of doing business, Barbara, let me ask you, you're in real estate. Should you know what's going on in the market?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hang on one second. He's calling again, so I'm going to tell him what I'm doing. Okay. Hang on 1 second. Hey, Michael Valdez, I'm live on Zoom. Can I call you back in a couple? Hello.
He said live on Zoom.
Work chat audio. Okay. Hey, when the president of Chief Growth Officer calls, you pick up. Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to business. All right. So guys, real estate market update. Sorry for the distraction. He called 3 times. Otherwise I wouldn't have picked it up. Okay. Must be important. So here's a scoop. Real estate market update. Do you need to do a real estate market update? Yes. Do you need to know the info? Yes. Okay. So do you guys want to get paid like an expert? Yeah, right. So if you want to get paid like an expert, you got to start talking like an expert. So I want to start doing experty things that people see as expert stuff. And then they're going to start coming to me saying, hey, what about? Or, hey, by the way, what's going on with this? Right. So there's a couple of other things that we could dovetail with that. So this kind of hits this master devious plan. Right. So think of me like a prettier version of Dr. Evil. Okay. This is my dirty little plan, right, to take over the world. Okay, so real estate market update. So should you do a real estate market update? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, market update. Yes. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to do a real estate market update video. And some of you guys might be like, oh, Russ, come on, man, don't make me do a video. I don't want to do it. I don't like the way my face looks on video. I can't stand my voice on video. Let's be clear, guys. I look like a turtle and I sound like a Muppet character. I got over it. Okay. That's what, to me, and this isn't self-depreciated. Like they used to call me turtleneck when I was a kid because I wore turtlenecks and I was super skinny. Okay, so was not, so it's a little mental scars from my childhood, right? But like nobody likes the way they look on video. Nobody likes the way they sound on audio.
Mhm.
Get over it, right? We have to look at your ugly face every time we look at you. So suck it up. Okay, so I'm kidding, of course.
Yes,
But you guys understand, do it. Okay. If you would like to see a video on how to do a good video, I've got a video on that I can send to you guys. So Barbara, if you'd like me to send a link to that, it's how to do a good real market video, right? Okay. I also have one, how and why to do a good real estate market update. And then I also have an example of me and my turtliness doing a real estate market update for Detroit. So you guys can see an example of what I do. A lot of people say, well, Russ, I post on social media a little picture with a graphic. Yeah, but that's not you, right? So you guys like think of simple stuff, right? You want people to come to you. That graphic isn't you. That graphic is a graphic. So are they attracted to the graphic and the info in the graphic or me? I can take other people's information and just say, hey, by the way, this is what this means, guys. And people go, oh, yeah, that Russ guy, right? That Russ guy just said, not, hey, Michael did this video on the so-and-so. That's like, that Russ guy told me what it meant and made sense of it. So a lot of the stuff that we can do on short videos and a lot of stuff we can do on social media is, hey guys, here's an article I saw and here's a quick synopsis of what it means. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Now you've got people going, I'm not going to read the article anyway, but I really need to know what this means. Do they need to know what's going on in the market? Yes. Okay. So do a real estate market video. You could do a short one. I do most of mine with cell phone. Super simple stuff with a cell phone. You can just do a quick thing. You live 30, 40 seconds, one or two pieces of market info, or you can do a full market video. Okay. So you're going to do that. And then you could do that on social media. Okay. Do you guys think it's important to have a presence on social media today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's the problem. Everybody's like, you got to do stuff on social, Barbara. You got to do stuff on social. And the realtors go like, hey, look at me. I just sold a house and here's a picture of it. And they got the key and the people standing next to them. And look at how many likes that gets. Your mom liked it. Your brother liked it. Your kids liked it. That 3, right? So that's not the stuff that gets people's attention, right? So you got to start doing things that get people's attention. People are asking about the market. Here's a quick market update. And then the market update is like, these numbers are insane. Like the numbers in days on market in Michigan is absolutely insane right now, Barbara. Do you know why?
What?
Last year, we were at a 37-day on market number. 37 was average days on market.
Okay.
Do you know what we are in Detroit now? Holy crap. This
So
is
it's
insane.
8?
What are we at? We're at 26. Well, everybody's like, well, Russ, houses are taking longer to sell. Not here, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's hearing nationally what's going on, and they're going, but Russ, I'm hearing out the news is saying, and everybody's saying the market's slowing down. The market's slowing down. Hey guys, here's a news flash. Nationally, the real estate market inventory went up. And everybody's thinking, sky is falling, sky is falling. It's like, no, guys, this is what we call rain. We've been in drought for a while. The stuff falling from the sky is not going to kill you. It's just rain. You can actually tip your head back, get some in your mouth, swallow. It's actually pretty tasty, unless you're in LA and then it's full of acid. But other than that, it's a great thing. It's a good thing. You need it to rain after it's been a drought. So nationally, the inventory total nationally went up 1% year over year. 1. Guys, does anybody think that still means the sky is falling?
Well, I think it's important to remember too that real estate is so hyper local, right? So what's happening in Detroit might not be happening here in San Diego, which is why it's so important to have those numbers.
Barbara, this is why I love you. You get it, right? That tells me, okay? So hyper local. So I'm going to do social media hyper local because your local may be different, right? Now, here's a fun one. Outside of Naples, there's a specific Naples, Florida. There's a specific neighborhood, and that neighborhood actually values have dropped by like 20% because there's a problem in the neighborhood. So you need to know that information, right? So your hyper local information, you're going to say, hey, you guys might be hearing this, this, and this. And if you are, here's what's really going on here. By the way, Indianapolis, days on market went up 3 or 4 days. Tampa, Florida, days on market went up 3 or 4 days. Is that a big deal? No, it's minor change. Mm-hmm. Minor change, right? That means some of the stuff is on the market for a day or 2 or 3 now versus everything going off the market immediately. Okay, mm-hmm. Is that good local information to have? Yes. If you've got people in your local market that's great information for them to know. So you know how it applies to you. And now you become their local market expert. And you say something like, you guys might have heard the national blah, 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 inventory went way up. Well, in our local market, that's true. We actually did go up. And here's what that means. Mm-hmm. So some of these markets, inventory went up by 25% year over year. That's a big number, except for the fact that, Barbara, you might not realize that got you from a 1.5 month supply of homes to a 2 month supply of homes, right, which is still too low. Right. So you got to tell the rest of the story. So hyper local. Then you also want to start talking about area. Okay. Local area. What's going on in your local area? So for me, I'll do southeastern Michigan, which is the whole area that we're in, because people move within this southeastern region a lot. Do they move across state? Sometimes. But the majority of people are moving within town within this metro market and this ring around Detroit for the most part. Okay. So is it good to know what's going on in the area? Sure. Because if I've got somebody in Sterling Heights that's thinking about moving to Ann Arbor, I'm talking about the whole area. They're going to go, hey, wait a minute. This guy's talking about me, my spot, where I want to go. Right. So get the whole area. So that's good. So now you've got two different things you can do that add value. And then, of course, you can do state stuff because, like in California, people move from South California to Northern California and back and forth, right? State. Mm-hmm. And then every once in a while, you could do a national. What's going on overall? Because it gives you context, right? And that's why I say you might have heard boom, 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 boom. I know the guy on national news was saying the real estate market is shifting. Okay, great. Well, what does that mean on a national level? It's not as big of a hairy deal as everybody thinks it is. Okay. Right. So that's just market update. Now you guys might go, holy crap, that's a lot, Russ. Okay. Do you notice the way I do? Start off with local. If you're going to do nothing else, guys, just take one of them. Be really great at your hyper local market, because that's the majority. Where's the majority of your business going to come from? It's going to come from there. So you want to make sure you get that. So Barbara, when people say to me, Russ, it's really hard. It's just so hard to chase business all the time. Are you doing this? No, I'm not doing it. Oh, that's why it's so hard, right? The simple things that make people attract to you and start thinking of you as their expert come from doing this. I can tell you how great of a real estate agent I am all day, Barbara. By the way, did you know that in my company that I was in 2013, 14, 15, I was the #1 agent in our company? Did you know I sold 143 houses in 2014, 136 in 2015, 127 in 2016? And you're like, yay, Russ, you're so freaking awesome. Oh, hold on a second. Ow, I threw my shoulder out. Ow. It's like I try to pat my back and I just broke my shoulder. Right, guys, nobody else wants to hear that stuff, right? They don't care that you're #1. They care that you are a resource that they can trust to give them good advice. And if you become their expert, they're going to ask you to be their consultant. What is a consultant? A consultant is somebody that takes the expertise advice and things they got in their head, and it translates it. Here's what works for you, Rick. By the way, I see you, brother. Here's how it applies to you, Rick. And then Rick goes, oh, thank God for that. I love that this applies to me and how it applies to me. And now are they willing to pay for that? Yeah, people pay consultants a high amount of money. Okay. So you guys see where this is going? Kind of a crazy, simple system, but it works. Okay. So now some of you might say, okay, Russ, well, market update's great. And I love that you got that. But like, who do I send it to? Okay. So two things. Number one, you're going to do it on social. Okay. This is your recipe. You ready for this? You're going to do it on social. For your hyper local one, you're going to post it 2 times. First time you're going to post it one time per month. Okay. That social local, you're going to do 1 time a month. And then 2 days later, you're going to repost, right? So you hit that second time. So you're going to do a local update 1 time a month and post it twice. You're going to post it today. And then 2 days from now, you're going to post it again and say, hey, just in case you missed it, because you're going to get other people that are going to catch that, right? Because not everybody catches it the first time. Just in case you missed it, here's a real estate market update. These numbers are insane. Boom. You get better traction, right? Mm-hmm. The second part of this, okay, so number one is do social. Okay. Second part of this is you're going to upload that somewhere. You should upload that to YouTube. Ideally, you should upload it to YouTube, guys. So YouTube gets uploaded and then Google starts going, hey, they're doing stuff and they're sending stuff and it's on YouTube and it's also going out in email. And then Google starts to go, hey, make sure people see this stuff. So that's how you increase your visibility. Okay. So you're going to email this to your sphere of influence. And you send a simple email, nice title, this market is insane, or these numbers are crazy, or this isn't what you thought it was, market update, and you title it something like that, and you send that to everybody in your sphere of influence. So what happens with that email, Barbara? What happens to that email? Does everybody open it?
Does everybody view it? Is that what you said?
Does everybody view it? Does everybody open it?
Well, I mean, I want to say yes, but I think the real answer is no.
No, because we know a good open rate on some of that stuff is like 10%, right? So
Right.
you're going to get, what percentage of your sphere of influence is going to see this? I don't know, 10 to 20%, depending on how big your sphere of influence is, are going to see it in those 2 posts on social, and they're going to fire it out to everybody in your sphere of influence. And guys, listen, if it doesn't apply to them, they're not going to look at it. Why would they?
Right.
But if they're like, hey, you know what? I'm in duty. You want to make sure it's there for that time. They're like, we're thinking about something. You want to have it there every single month. So 6 months from now, somebody goes, I do wonder what's going on. And they'll click on it. Excuse me. Are they going to click on it every month? Hell no.
Mm-hmm.
No way, right? Are they going to click on it when they need it? You bet you believe it will, right? So that's when you want to be there. You want to be there when they need you. Okay. Right. Then the last part here is, and this is the one that's going to really just wreck your waffles. Ready? You're going to do some old school stuff. Mail it to them.
Snail mail?
Snail mail it. Yes. And you're like, oh, geez, Russ, welcome to 2022, sucker. Come on, you got to do better than this, Russ. Here's the thing, guys. You guys ever get anything in the mail? Hand addressed?
Not very often.
I don't know about you guys, but every time I get something that's hand addressed, I open it every single time, right? So I'm going to make this stick in your head, Barbara. I'm going to go disgusting for a second, but it's funny to me because it'll make it stick, okay? If you would like to lick something and have somebody else touch it, this is how you do it. What the hell did he just say? I'm going to lick something. I'm going to send it to you, and you're going to touch it, and you're going to like it. Okay, maybe you're not going to like it anymore, right? You're like, I'm going to wear rubber gloves next time Rick mails me anything. Right? Forget anthrax. Rick is licking stuff and sending it to people. He's like, dude, I just licked that. I mailed it to somebody, and they're touching something I licked. Not only is that disgusting, but now it sticks in your head, right? But every single person you send it to will get it. Almost every single time. The U.S. Postal Service, aside from being whatever, let's go political, right? Okay, stop there. And then, but they get it a lot. They're really great at getting stuff from point A to point B. Mm-hmm. Okay, so how many of these people get that?
I would say everybody in your database. No?
All of them every single time, and they open it. Now they open it, and most of them are throwing in the garbage. There's a stupid thing, right? So my sister-in-law does this reasonably consistent, and almost all of her business comes from that. She just does that every other month.
Huh.
You don't have to do this every month. Doing it every other month, it puts it in the hands, and people guarantee they see it. Do they need a market update today? No. But are they kind of like, I wonder what's going on? And you just write up a little note. Hey, by the way, it's fall coming, and we're looking forward to getting to the sunflowers and going to the sunflower patch and checking out pumpkins. And I already made pumpkin spice French toast, by the way, which is awesome.
September, so that's okay.
Take pumpkin spice creamer and mix that with some eggs and some cinnamon and dip your bread in there and throw it in the pan.
Oh, we didn't know we were getting a recipe today. Too. Bonus.
The whole thing's a recipe, right? French toast, get pumpkin spice creamer. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it, but it's not crazy. Do the bread, eggs, boom, 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 boom. The inside is kind of pumpkin spicy, custardy. Okay, so
I love it.
Mail a pumpkin spice French toast recipe with a quick market update if you need to. Okay, listen.
Well, can I ask a quick question on this real quick? Because I think people are probably saying, "Well, I'll just do a postcard."
No.
I knew that answer, but I wanted to ask it anyway.
No. Here's the deal. I got a postcard.
Yep.
Okay. I want you to actually physically have to touch the spot I licked.
Gotcha.
Dude, why does he keep going back there? This is disgusting, Russ. But I want to make it stick for you guys. I want it to be a little disgusting so it sticks, right? Think about it. Do they touch that? Yeah. Can they just kind of chuck that with everything else? Like, whatever, they catch it. I mean, they see Barbara's face on it. They're gonna look at it for a second and go, oh, she's cute. And then they see Rick's face on it and be like, what the holy oh my God. Throw that in the garbage. They're like, this Russ dude looks like a turtle. Boom, throw it in the garbage, right? But you got to get something that makes it stick. Make them open it, make them unfold it. There's a certain thing to that, right? Here's the other thing, guys. Let's go to human nature. How many of you got a birthday card in a hand-addressed envelope from your grandma when you were a kid with money in it? Mm-hmm. Or your parents with money in it, or your aunts and uncles with money in it, right? So seeing a hand-addressed envelope now, because it's not as normal, it ties you back to those things when we're a kid and ties you back to a feeling. If it can tie somebody back to a feeling, you can attach to that feeling and become a parasite. I mean, become a salesperson. I mean, become a realtor. I mean, become somebody that sticks in their head. Oops. Do you see where I'm going with this, guys? This is psychology of humans, right? You tie to something. I see something handwritten with my name on it. I'm like, oh, Grandma's sending me money. Even though physically I know that's not what it is, it ties something to an emotion that I have that I've gotten year over year over year. If you can tie to that kind of stuff, guys, you can start attaching yourself to people like that. It's the way humans work. Mm-hmm. Leverage the way humans work. You guys see what I'm telling you here? I'm not telling you to do something crazy. I'm saying, hey, people keep asking you, how's the market? Leverage that, right? So become a human that leverages the important stuff. Recognize what's important and then leverage that to your success, okay? Mm-hmm. Mailing something, take a little bit of time. You could do the whole thing in 2 or 3 hours. By the way, guys, everybody else I know pays a kid 25 cents an envelope to address the things. Just make sure the kid's got handwriting better than mine. Not too hard to accomplish, right? So get hand address it. And it doesn't even have to be your handwriting. Find a young girl. Their handwriting's almost always better than mine or yours, Rick. Right? So you gotta make sure we're getting that. Okay. So that's part one. Okay. So you're gonna mail that. Now, some of you guys might say, well, gee, Russ, I'd much rather do more business with my sphere of influence. Should we be doing more business with our sphere of influence?
100%.
Why?
Because they're the people who know, like, and trust you.
You hope.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do statistics, okay, guys? If you're adding value consistently to your sphere of influence month after month after month, and I'm going to show you a couple more things that help with that. What should be your conversion rate on your sphere of influence? By the way, when I pin people down and make them write out a list, most people will come up between 180 and 220 people in their sphere of influence. I do have some people are 250, 300. Some people are 400, 500, 600, right? I don't count, hey, I've got 2,700 friends on Facebook. They don't count, right? If you have a flat tire and you can get to them, even if they can't make it and they shouldn't make it, but like, hey, I'm Russ, I got a flat tire. Is there any way you can find somebody to save me? If you can talk to them, those people should be in your sphere. I'm talking to your hairstylist too, right? Hairstylist barber. If I called the dude that cut my hair and said, hey man, I'm stuck. He's like, dude, I'm in a barber shop. I can't help you, but I can get billed, Mm-hmm. So everybody that's in that should be in your sphere of influence. Okay. So with that being said, what percentage of your sphere of influence should convert if you're doing a good job? Do you know that statistic?
I'm going to hear it from you.
Here, listen, guys. So here's the thing, Barbara. I love it. Thank you for being my guinea pig today. Okay?
Yes, I know. You're welcome.
I love it. And you're like, I'm not trying to embarrass you. Okay. So for everybody else that's watching this, you don't know the answer either. Okay. I've stood in front of rooms with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people recently. And I asked this question, and every once in a while, somebody will guess it, but they don't know it. So guys, if the number one place your business is going to come from is your sphere, do you think you should know what that ratio is?
Yeah.
And if you know what that ratio is, then you can measure your business and determine whether your business is actually doing well or not doing as well. Am I doing a good job working my sphere? If your number is low, the answer is no. If your number is high, the answer is yes. Do more of that, right? Okay, so here's a great part. Once we know this number, now we have a business plan. We can manage our whole business off of this, Barbara. Okay, so here's the deal. This is not just my statistic, but I do have this statistic and we tracked it. And I have a card over here somewhere that somebody else licked and sent to me, by the way. And it says something like this. Hey, Russ, I've been doing this stuff with the market update and the other things you taught me for the last 12 months, exactly the way you told me. And my sphere of influence is connecting at exactly the number you told me it would.
Nice.
Yeah. And it is like on the bottom, P.S. I wish I'd listened to you 8 years ago.
Oh, hi, voice 2020.
Right? It took him 8 years to finally go, this sucks. I got to do it better. Right. So just start doing this stuff. Okay.
Because it seems so simple, Russ. That's why.
It is. And it's too simple to work. Right.
Yep.
Have you ever seen a plan that's so complicated it's got to work?
Yeah. No.
And by the way, guys, the whole industry is surrounded by sharks waving sparkly little things, trying to get you to come out of the simple circle and start doing their complicated crap, or let you have them do their complicated crap for you. And then they just swallow you. And you're like, why can't I see anything? Well, you're in the belly of a shark now, you dummy. Like, stop falling for that crap, right? Stay in the simple zone. And if you can't get this done right, do this well. And then if you want to venture out and try some other crazy stuff, knock yourself out. I would not call FSBOs, not call expires, not call withdrawn, not go door knocking, not do open houses until you get this in place. Then, if you got a little extra time, start with open houses. Well, in this market, start with open houses because people show up again, and you can start adding more people to your sphere. And those are people thinking about buying a house, and you can work them over time, and you can start converting them also. So sphere of influence should convert at about 10%. Now, people have way more access to info than they've ever had in the past. So that 10% number drops down in some places, in some markets. But let's say even on a bad day, you can still convert this at 8+%. Okay. So what that means is if you have 200 people in your sphere, you should be able to convert 20 sales out of your sphere of influence over a 12-month period. And some of you might be like, Russ, that's bullshit. Maybe for you. Right. So when you ask Brian Buffini, Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, Roger Butcher, Craig Proctor, all the gurus out in the business, myself and other people I know that coach regularly, we will consistently get people to a 10% conversion rate just working their sphere. Mm-hmm. You go, well, but Russ, my sphere's not big enough. I got to fix for that too. We'll go into that next. Okay. And do the best you can with what you got, get that conversion rate. And then when you add more people, that conversion rate will stay consistent. So you say, but Russ, I want to do more than 20 sales. Okay, fine. My best year is 143 closings. Okay. So like you say you want to do 20, no problem. 40, no biggie. You told me I was going to do 80 in the next year. I'd be like, why the hell would I want to do that? I don't want to go down to 80. Right. So my perspective is completely different than some people's. For some of you, getting that first 10 in a year is game changer stuff, guys. This is the stuff that changes people's lives, going from 5, 6, 7 sales a year to 20. That changes the trajectory of a family. Mm-hmm. So guys, we all talk about these big producers. I'm like, oh, they're so great. Listen, guys, what I find amazing is when somebody goes from 1, 2, 3 to 15 or 20. I love that because I know that changes the feel of every single thing that you do. Changes your ability to afford to put kids through college, changes your ability to pay for stuff, changes your ability to have things that you've never had the opportunity to have before, do things that you couldn't have the ability to do before, and then set yourself up for a future of success and set your kids up for a future of success. Okay. So that's how important this stuff is. You got to do the important stuff well. Okay. So 10%. So now you might say, well, gee, Russell, I've only got 80 people in my sphere. So that's only 8 sales and I want to do 20. Okay, great. So how do we add people to our sphere of influence? Well, most people are like, well, Russ, what you got to do is go door knocking. Guys, I'm in Detroit. Knock, knock. Who's there? 9mm to your face. What do you want? You get freaking door knock in Detroit. You get shot, right? They do that for fun on Fridays. Just go shoot stuff. Okay. I'm kidding, but you get what I mean, right? Not the most ideal way to do it. Can you be successful that way? Yes. But here's what I would prefer you'd rather do. Okay. If you want to build and add to your sphere of influence, let me ask you, Barbara, what are we selling?
Houses.
Really?
Real estate.
We're supposed to sell houses.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're supposed to sell houses. Okay. So all the houses we sell are always perfect condition, right? Nothing ever breaks. Right? Every inspection, perfect every time, right?
No request for repairs. It's, it's a perfect house. Of course.
You're like, we're going to go to heaven. And their streets are paved with gold, and there's a mansion on every corner. And one of them.
Where are those houses?
I'm like, okay, so that just tells me now. Let's go biblical here, right? So that means I need a gold contractor now because the road's going to have issues. I need a gold driveway guy now. Got to keep that thing polished, and I'm going to need a power wash guy that knows how to do gold because the stuff's soft, right? And then of course I got the pearly gates, right? Well, who's going to keep those shined? Because they don't keep their own shine, right? So should we have a contractor list of people that can keep our mansion in good shape?
Yes.
Or our pile of junk in shape, or our customers' pile of junk that they love so much in shape? Right? Have you guys ever had the buyer and they're like going through the houses and they're picking at everything on the house? And you want to look at them and be like, I was in your house. Your house is a pile of compared to that. This is a mansion compared to what you're living in. And you're picking on that guy's thing? Come on. Like plank in your own eye, trying to get a speck out of Rick's eye. Like, no, man, get the plank out of your own eye first. Okay. So with that being said, should you have a preferred contractor list?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. So here's the thing, Barbara. So here's the mindset behind it. If somebody's going to call you when they need a plumber, because they're like, call Russ, he knows everybody. Mm-hmm. If they call me when they need a plumber, are they going to call me when it's time to sell a house?
Yes. I mean, more than likely, right?
Bing, 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 bing. A lot of times, yes, right? So think about becoming a resource and adding value by making sure they know what's going on in the market. And then, by the way, guys, you should have a preferred contractor list. Is that something else you can post on social once in a while and say, hey, guys, by the way, if you ever need anything, I have a preferred contractor list. All of these people are recommended. We know they show up. We know they're safe. They communicate reasonably well, and they're fair priced. So if you ever need anybody, don't hesitate to reach out to me. By the way, I had a guy in my basement yesterday. They were doing epoxy floors in my basement. Facebook post to come later. It's all sticky, can't walk on yet. So got that done. And I wanted hey, this is Chris, the epoxy guy. I've already referred him to 3 people. Because 3 people are like, dude, who did you have to? It's like, boom, 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 go. So now Chris is my preferred contractor for that. Did a good job. He was a fair price. He showed up on time and he wasn't spooky. Didn't scare my wife. Love that. Okay. So should you have a preferred contractor list? Yes. So here's where my brain is messed up, Barbara. Okay, because most people are like, yeah, I need a plumber and a boom, 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 boom. Okay, so I have a list of 60 different types of contractors and or businesses that you can have that are around a house, right? Would you like me to send you that list of 60 different types of contractors and a simple recipe on how to implement that?
I would love that.
Wouldn't it be great if I had that?
Yes.
Well, I do. So cool part is now, do you guys see the sales pitch here? Like, hey, I've got something, you want it? And she's like, I would love that. Okay, yes. Well, here you go. Okay, so I will send that to you. So you guys reach out to Barbara and Barbara will connect you with that. I'll send it to Barbara and she can make sure you guys get it. Only the ones that showed up here get it. Okay, 60 different things. So what you can do is go on social media, say, hey, I'm looking for a plumber that's good, that shows up on time, is reasonable, and communicates well. Doesn't scare people. Okay, you're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5 people say, hey, this guy's awesome. I love this guy, Chris, right? Here's the jacked up part, guys. Are any of you guys with EXP?
We've got a few here.
Other realtors are going to send you their contractors. And you go, hey, Bill, thanks for sending me the contractor. I really appreciate it. I'm putting together a list. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to ask me. Yeah. Now am I adding value to another realtor? Mm-hmm. How do I attract agents, Barbara? I don't know. It's so hard. Not really. Not when they call you and they go, hey, Russ, who's your plumber? I know you always got good people. Well, thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. Here's my boom, 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 boom. Hey, by the way, how's things going? How's the market in your area? Yeah, it was great. It's like, hey, you're getting my market update? No, what do you mean? Like, you want me to send you my market update? And they're like, yeah. Other realtors will want your market update because they don't know the numbers either, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Barbara, did you just see where that just went completely to the next level?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that for strong? Hey, by the way, Rick, do you think you could implement that? Are you willing to implement that? Is that scary? Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Make you feel weird? No, right? This is stuff you guys can do. Go figure. Somebody in leadership actually talking about stuff you can really do. Weird. I know. Okay. So build your contractor list. So here's a multiplier, Barbara. Ready?
Okay. I
need a high-end plumber and I need a low-end plumber. Because if I send my low-end plumber, it smells like burnt feet and bacon to my high-end house, we got a problem. He's going to have to pull the pants up. It's going to freak people out. If I send my high-end plumber to my low-end house, they're going to freak them out on the price.
Right.
Okay, so do I need both? I need a budget guy and I need a high-end guy. Because the high-end guy is going to be touching stuff that the low-end guy's never even seen. He's like, a melee what? He's like, it's a meal. No, it's a melee. Fancy for, it costs you a crap ton of money. Don't scratch it. Okay, so you got to have a high end and a low end. Now, my high end guy is great, right? And my low end guy is great. So that means they're busy, which means I need a backup for each one. So do I need 4 plumbers? Yeah, I need high end, low end, and a backup for each one of those. So now I got 4 plumbers. So Barbara, would you like to add 240 people to your sphere of influence? I've got 60.
I would.
I've got 60 times 4. 60 different trades on that list times 4 you need of each. That's 240 people you can add to your sphere list. Now, guys, do any contractors know people moving? Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we just pulled the cover off of that. So I just flipped back the curtain and you just saw the wizard. He's only about yay tall. Sorry. That guys, it's literally this simple. And by the way, it works consistently if you work it. Okay. So that's one way you can add to your sphere. Massive. By the way, you need them anyway. Then every once in a while, you're going to do contractor of the week. You're like, hey, Bill's over my, hey, here's Chris, a contractor. He just did epoxy floors. If you guys need epoxy floors done, I'm Russ the realtor. And this is who I use for my flooring because the guy's good at what he does. Chris, say hi. Chris goes, hi. Hang up. Okay. Boom. That's a video.
So much. Can I just interject real quick that you can use that same social media recipe with the contractors. I mean, you're kind of already saying that, but it's just like, boom. I mean, go ahead and mail them.
Two and two just made 10.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Okay. I can do promote a contractor. So say, oh, hey, look at me. I just sold a house. And everybody's like, who gives a crap? Here's a great, and now people are connecting that and say, hey, by the way, if you need anybody else, I got a whole list of these good guys.
Yeah.
And then people start using you as a resource, right? Now I've got something valuable to post on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, by the way, when I do this mail thing at the bottom, say, by the way, if you ever need a contractor, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I've got a list of preferred contractors. Can you put that at the bottom of your mail piece? Uh-huh. You send a couple of referrals out and say, hey guys, listen, I know you've got 10 other realtors you do business with, but who's sending you stuff? So when you get a chance, send me something back once in a while. Two ways to be, right? And most of them will go, okay. Make it intentional. 240 more people. Are you going to convert your sphere at the same level with your contractor list? No, it converts at about half. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's still 5% on 240. So that's 12 more sales in a year. So I got 200 people in my sphere, 240 in my contractor list. One converts at 20, the other one converts at 12. Now you're 32 sales. Anybody smell Icon? What does that smell like? Oh, Russ, I don't know how to get to Icon. I do. There it is. I just showed you the map. Mm-hmm. Now, does this take a hot minute? Yes. Are you going to do this overnight? No. But what I would say is, for you guys, if you're not doing this, over the next 6 months, intentionally add people to your sphere and intentionally add contractors to your sphere on a weekly basis. Set yourself up a simple goal. I'm going to add 10 a week. Mm-hmm. Right? And by the way, I'm going to start a separate list, non-sphere list. I'm going to start a separate list. Anybody that has a little R, that doesn't stand for Russell, they got a little R, stands for realtor. Get a separate list of realtors, right? I'm going to send every single realtor my market update because they need to know too. Now, something wonky goes on in their company. Who are they going to call? The dude has been sending me the market updates, been hooking me up. That's a guy I want to hang out with.
Huh. So the other thing too, Russ, when you're sending it to realtors, and of course I'm speaking for San Diego because we're such a big military town and we have a lot of people, coming and going. Mm-hmm. When you're asking realtors for referrals, right? Hey, send me people your way. You're showing them that you know what's going on in your market, right? So that's just ingenious. I love that. You're so smart.
Listen, I learned almost everything by banging my head on a wall. And you know what the best part about banging your head on a wall is, Barbara?
What?
Stopping. Holy stopping, right? Guys, stop banging your head on the wall. I learned this and I've taught this to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of real estate agents. Mm-hmm. Now, listen, I wish I was with EXP when I started doing that because I've got hundreds of real estate agents behind me that are making $100,000 a year just doing this stuff.
Right.
And do you think they owe me? Yeah. If I was with EXP, I could have kept all of them. I'd be alpha dog. I'd be walking around, oh, look at me, I'm alpha, I'd be taller and tougher, Okay, so that's one. Okay, that's one way to build your sphere of influence. Guys,
So we've got like maybe 5 minutes, Russ, because I want to make sure we have time for Q&A, okay?
Last one, ready?
I know, okay, ready.
As part of this game, instead of doing posts of look at me, I'm a realtor, you are going to have a whole business list of places you go and things you do, right? So if you have kids, do some things that are interesting. When you're out and about doing things and you see a business that's interesting, like for example, here's a perfect one. Hi, I'm Russel Laggan, the real estate dude. I'm at Yellow Dog Restaurant. You guys got to check this out. It's outside of Orlando. If you're ever here, aside from the building looking like the termites had a field day with it, The colors are crazy. The menu is insane. It's got a lot of humor in it. So make sure you read the menu. The food is fantastic. Price is fantastic. And once you get past the front door, the ambiance is really kind of cool. So if you want a good deal, great food, in a cool environment, come check out Yellow Dog. Look at that. I'm Russel Realtor. See you next week. Promote a business.
Love it.
And let the business owner know you promoted them. By the way, get the business owner's contact info and connect with them. Here we go again, Russ. Same stupid recipe applied to something different. Okay. So if you can do something that's, hey, look at me, I'm Russel Realtor guy doing something cool. It's way better than me, Russel Realtor guy. We just sold a house because nobody cares about that. But it's like, hey, I'm Russel Realtor. By the way, this is the coolest dog park ever. Have you ever seen a Schnickerdoodle? Whatever. It's the funniest little dog in the world, right? I don't even know they made one like that. I'm Russel Realtor. If you got a dog that likes to swim, come down to the beach here, blah, 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 and take your dog for a swim. Great place to meet people. So now I'm Russ the Realtor. People are getting connected with Russ the Realtor, but I'm not Russ the Realtor being a dipstick trying to sell them something. Okay. So you got a whole list of businesses. So Barbara, let me ask you, if I had a list of different things you could promote and a little recipe on the bottom to show you exactly how to do that, would you like that recipe?
Yes, yes, and yes.
Oh crap, I keep doing the same thing over and you keep falling for it. Why? Everybody's like, Russ, but nobody wants my stuff. That's because your stuff sucks. Get stuff that doesn't suck, right? So I've got a white paper on that, Barbara, and I will send that to you also. So I've got a white paper on the contractor list. I got a white paper on the build your business, promote business, and I can be Russ the Realtor and I can get on there all the time and people will watch it because it's interesting. Keep them short and sweet, make them interesting. Now people are being attracted to me. My sphere is going to be like, that guy's doing cool stuff. And you got to live a cool life, do some cool things, right? And then on top of that, I owe you a video on how and why to do a real estate market update, a sample video on that. And I got a couple other goodies that I'll throw your direction. Okay. So that's it. Well, shut it down.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Big hand for Russ Laggan. Oh my goodness. You're amazing. So we have some time for Q&A. Does anybody have any questions they want to throw out to Russ? You can either put them in the chat or just unmute your mic.
Yeah, bring it. So thank you guys for your time, by the way. I appreciate it. If you can't tell, this is what I love to do.
Oh my gosh. Well,
no question other than thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Lisa, for putting this together. And thanks, Russ, for always being there, man. Appreciate it.
Tommy Trong.
Love you guys.
it's Tommy Trong.
Hey, buddy.
Thanks, Tom.
I got to run off to an event. I got a live event here in Irvine, California. It starts in about 5 minutes. I'll see you guys.
See ya.
Appreciate you guys.
You got it.
So thank you very much, Russ. That was awesome, totally awesome. And thank you for giving us the recording and the white papers, because I am really a slow learner. And even though I heard it, yeah, that sounds great. I need to repeat. That's me.
The funny thing is I've seen you for a couple of years on and off, Dorothy. And by the way, this is the way I learned it. I learned it the hard way, man. I had to bait it into myself. Everybody's telling me, well, do this. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to do something I enjoy. It took me a little while to figure it out. So you're welcome to it. And don't feel bad about it. Just take one piece every week and add one piece every week. Do it intentionally.
And I don't like the way, I'm sorry. I don't like the way my face looks on video, and I don't like the way my voice sounds on video. So I'm really guilty of hiding from video.
Yeah, well,
I apologize.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. It's all good. You're normal. Hey, wow, you're normal.
Everybody always says that, and Russ, you're so right. Everybody's always saying, no, I don't sound good. And you do like 15 takes, and then it's like, I'm just not even going to post it. Don't even do 15 takes. Just post the first one, because that's typically the best one.
let it rip. And if you make a mistake, you learn, like when you're doing video, you make a mistake. Every once in a while I get easy for me to say, but that's how I fix that, right? You're going to stutter, you're going to stumble, you're going to mess stuff up. It makes you human.
Right.
There's rare people I can go in and just one take stuff. Very, very rare people. So go in there and mess it up a little bit and have some fun with it. Like, boy, I messed that up. Let's start over again. Here we go. And don't even stop the video. Just roll it, right? It's way more entertaining. Way more entertaining when you boof it up 6 times, Dorothy. You're like, hey, guys, this is my first time shooting video. Watch this, y'all. And you mess it up. It's funny as hell. Because we're all like, oh, yeah, you're screwed. Oh, no, here she goes again. Like, come on, we're rooting for you now, right? So don't be afraid to be real, guys. It's not all perfect. It's not all perfect. No marriage is perfect. No business is perfect. No life is perfect. No people are perfect. Take a bunch of imperfect stuff, smash it together, get a big unperfect mess. Celebrate it.
I had a quick question.
Go.
When you go live, do you go live on your business page or your personal page?
So for me, I pretty much build everything off of my personal. There are people that do the business. In the business, you could do unlimited people in business versus your personal. You're limited to 5,000. It depends. I mean, for me, I'm connected to just crap tons of realtors all over the country, like thousands of them, right? Almost everybody in my Facebook is that, or people that follow me because I forge knives or follow me around because I make wood stuff. Okay. So that's pretty much it. So it depends on where your audience is going to be. For me, this is me, my life, my business. So I'm going to promote it on my personal stuff. I'm going to promote it where I'm going to get the best traction. And really, who are you trying to reach? I'm reaching my personal stuff. Do people really want to see stuff on my business page? Not so much. Right? Do they want to do business with your business? No, they want to do business with me. So wherever they're going to see me the most and catch me the easiest, that's where I want it. Okay. So for most of you, it'll be your personal page. And I'm not a Facebook wizard either, by the way.
Well,
I have a question.
yeah, go for it.
Sorry. Is that okay? Can I go?
Let's go.
All right. So my question is, do you have an example of your market report? I tend to overcomplicate things a little bit, and I've been trying to put one together, and I always hate it because I did, by the way, finally get past the fear of video, and I do it all the time. You can ask Barbara.
Good.
And they're awesome.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, so funny enough, so on the if you guys watched the last 3 or 4 Friday leadership meetings, on the Friday leadership meetings, they asked me of all things to talk about real estate market updates. Go figure. So they asked me to do that. So I did like a little 6 or 7 minute on the first week. So it's on the YouTube channel for Level Up, EXP Level Up on their YouTube channel. And the Friday leadership call, there's a small 5-minute segment that I've done 3 of them now. I just did one. You will literally see me looking like this because this is what I was wearing at 11 o'clock. Of course, I pre-recorded it yesterday, but I still wear the same thing. So everybody thinks I'm still, so they think it's live, but it's not. Okay. And I talk about the basics of real estate market update, why, and then secondly, some of the parts and pieces. So I've broken down a couple of parts and pieces you add. On the last week, I talked about the 4 major components you need to have a real estate market update. And then on the one that was on today, recapped that, the 4 main things you need to have. So catch today's, caps the 4 main things you need to talk about. How many listings in your market this year versus last year. Of course, keep in mind, guys, you got to give them context. You're like, we have 3,842 real estate homes for sale right now. Well, where does that compare to last year? Is that up? Is that down? I don't know. 3,400 means nothing to me. Well, there's 38 last year. Supply went down. Whoa. Oh, we mean supply went down. That's not what everybody's talking about. So you got to know that, right? So what is the supply? What is the total number of listings? And then how many sales did you have in the last 30 days? You take the total number of listings, how many sales you had in the last 30 days, you get supply of homes or absorption rate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's the number you really need. So if the absorption rate is 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, that's still a seller's market. Once you get around 5 and 6 and 7, that's more balanced, normal, neutral. 6 is pretty much neutral. Okay. Once it goes to 7, 8, 9, that's buyer's market. That's when buyers come in and start beating the crap out of sellers for all the sellers beating the crap out of them for the last 5 years. Right.
Right.
They're going to get the sellers back. Okay. So with that said, knowing those 3 numbers alone helps everything. Okay.
And Russ, you said that's on YouTube. That's not just
that's on
YouTube, right?
Yeah. So that's in the Level Up. Yeah. So EXP Level Up. So if you go on YouTube and type in at the search EXP Level Up, there's a channel for that. And on that channel, they're doing all the stuff they're doing on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays to help you guys level up your business. They're doing that then. So there's a 5-minute, 7-minute segment that I'm doing on the last 3 or 4 of those. So,
That's
but the one today that went live today earlier, I just wiped that off my board before I came on with you guys.
Okay.
It was the 4 main categories you need to know, and then I talked a little bit about what days on market means because that's misleading too.
Yes.
So you got to know 26, 27 days on market means houses are selling immediately. You're like, no, it says 26. I'm like, that's everything. That's a knucklehead that refuses to price 400,000 overpriced. He's still in that number, right? But the people that price it right, they're only at 3 and 4 days.
That's right. That's
So you
very
gotta know-
smart.
Yeah. So how and why. So if you watch the how and why, so I'm going to send a video for you guys, how and why to do a real estate market update. Give you some basic parameters in that video with a sample of me doing a long version for Detroit, talking through all the numbers for Detroit. You can just model that, rip it and repeat, right? Steal it. You're welcome to it. Give me credit for it once or twice and then it's yours. Okay. With that said, then if you really want details, I've got a long version where I talked to a guy named Larry Zanis, who's a friend of mine who's now deceased. He and I had a long conversation about exactly how to put all the information together. It's like an hour conversation of just him and me talking about building his market update and knocking down all the nuts and bolts and parts pieces. So if you need the long handheld version, there's that too. Just request it from me and I can send that to you.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Okay, well, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I mean, I do want to take up a lot more of your time. I know that you're super busy. You've got VPs and presidents and everybody else calling you. So
Oh, it's all good. They only called 17 times. That's not a big deal. Like my house isn't on fire, so we're good.
well, thank you so much for everything.
You're
This
quite
was
welcome.
such great content. I mean, I can't. Lisa's going to be some bummed that she missed it, but we recorded it for everybody. We're gonna,
You know, I haven't actually met her yet. So she came in right as I was going out, and then I haven't met her since I've come back. So I'm looking forward to meeting her too. And I hope it's valuable to you guys. Guys, look me up, find me, hunt me down. And by the way, if you need me again, you want to talk through it again, like let's do 2.0. There's 2.0 and 3.0 and 4.0 on this stuff.
oh,
So
but wait, there's more. We will definitely have you on again.
Thank you.
this is what you get. You get full throttle every time.
I had no doubt. Yeah. Thank you so much, Russ. You have a fantastic day. Everybody have a great day. Crush it this weekend. And
Barbara.
let's do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.